Ladies and gentlemen, and this is I Left Russia by channel NFKRZ. Yes, this I started to react to this channel I guess recently. I saw the Soviet Union video of the how Pepsi, Pizza Hut basically broke into Iron Curtain. Then I also saw some of the recent event video, and I was really curious, like the guy who basically lives in Russia, obviously what the person is going through, what they're thinking, right? And this is a channel who's his target audience is Western audience, not Russian audience mostly, right? So it would be really interesting to see like somebody who's somewhat outspoken of Moscow in a way. I don't know, he doesn't really say anything bad, but he does speak out on things, right? So I was like does he live in Russia currently, what it is? And people told me that he actually made a video when he left Russia. So yeah, I always want to see what people are really going through, right? Because we always hear accounts from different medias, different people who not live in Ukraine or Russia, basically, especially the big people. So this guy's a million subscribers. So yeah, I see he has a bit what is this, Bitcoin and wallet in description. I mean, that's how fucked up it is. Like, he can't get paid from YouTube now because obviously Swift and all the basically Russian banks are kind of closed in a way. YouTube's not going to pay to the Russian bank, and obviously he's going to have a Russian bank account, which is really fucked up. Somebody like him who makes really good content can get paid, and to me it just feels really fucked up. In we are living in a weird time where somebody who has a million subscribers can get paid and has to ask for donation in Bitcoin, not some other means, but Bitcoin. This is a really weird situation. So let's watch this one. Remember, if you like my Rickson, don't forget to subscribe, check out the Rickson, there's a link in the description, and yeah, let's watch it.
Hello Blazers, it is your boy Roman, your favorite neighborhood Russian. Hi guys, and today welcome to a brand new video. In today's video, guys, welcome to the beautiful city of Tbilisi, Georgia. Yes guys, that is correct. I'm currently in Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, for an extended vacation. Let's just call it that for now, I guess. But yeah, I've been here for a bit. This is like my fourth proper day here. And yeah, last days have been super hectic, and also the weather was ass. But finally I'm getting to record this video. Basically, yes, the title of this video is not clickbait. I have actually left Russia. I don't know for how long, I don't know how well this is gonna go, but I did. Oh, I thought that was the Russian flag for a second there. Almost got me spooked. Yeah. Because that's not the flag you see a lot on the streets of Georgia, and I understand it. I guess one thing that you guys are gonna ask me immediately is why I left Russia and why I specifically came to Georgia, I guess. And honestly, there's a ton of reasons. Well, first of all, I would say that my main reason for making the decision to leave Russia is the fact that, well, I'm pretty sure at this point I'm 99.9% sure that YouTube in Russia is probably gonna be banned within the next couple of weeks. And obviously I'm a YouTuber, so that is a big concern for me. Another factor is that I guess I'm really uncertain about the future of Russia at this point, to be honest, because these sanctions and everything, no matter what some people might tell you, they are very, very destructive for the Russian economy, okay? In some regions of Russia, there's already shortages of certain food products, for example, sugar and grains. And I feel like with the way Russia got cut off from everything, honestly, 6 months from now is gonna actually probably get way worse. And also the third reason is that I guess I just don't feel like I belong anymore in a sense, When in the center of St. Petersburg, where I lived for the last 6 months, you're walking on the street and you see these banners with the Z on it and everything. I don't know, man. I really don't know about this one. And also, yeah, already the crackdown on free speech has gotten way.
Yeah, what's with that Z sign, right? You see that on lots of tanks in different places. I never thought about it, but what the hell is that Z sign?
Way harsher just in this last couple of weeks, and it's probably only going to get worse. So I'm not trying to come off in this video as if I'm being pursued by the governments or whatever and I'm like a fugitive. Not at all. But honestly, I feel like the space for a person like me to exist in modern day Russia is getting smaller and smaller, if that makes any sense. And honestly, in a way, it also feels like the country.
I mean, he has videos like the Russia grew up in doesn't exist, this and that, some certain videos about I mean. Yeah, but like I said, he doesn't directly says anything bad about Russia, but he can be seen as an outspoken person, right? So I understand why he would want to leave. I think he didn't leave it for that. It's probably going to be because he can't stay there and still make worldwide online videos like this, right? Because he's not gonna get paid in Russia. But I always wonder, can he open a bank account in Georgia? I mean, what is he going to do?
That I loved and that I grew up in kind of almost doesn't exist anymore. It's not the same country anymore, you know what I mean? Another question I guess that a lot of you might have is why Georgia? Well, it's actually very simple because I actually got a ton of comments from, Westerners and stuff like that saying, oh, Roman, why don't you just go to the EU? I got people saying, oh, bro, I live in Germany, you can crash at my place or whatever. People from all over the world are hitting me up and saying this. And I really appreciate it, but I feel like a lot of the people who are from like the European Union don't really get the fact that citizens of some countries don't have like visa-free access to enter the European Union. I don't. The Russians don't have visa-free travel with the EU or anything. And now, obviously, with everything that's going on right now, it's not a possibility at this point, right? So yeah, I cannot just come to the EU.
I mean, yeah, he can't just apply for a visa. What's your reason? Oh, because of the conflict. I don't want to live there. Like, that's not gonna go well. I don't know. He can say like I'm a YouTube creator. I have 1 million subscribers. I don't know. I don't feel like I would work in Russia, so I wanna come to some different countries. I don't know if that would work or not. That you get visa like that.
And just move and just stop living there. I need like a reason to be there so that I get my visa and stuff. It's either studying or work or something like that. So yeah, if somebody has a company in the EU, you want to give me a job, for sure, let's do it. But seriously though, yeah, it's not that easy. But yeah, the reason why I came to Georgia, and because actually a lot of Russians are coming to Georgia right now, is because it is actually a country that has like the best visa-free stay rules for Russians, which is kind of strange as well, considering the fact that Russia and Georgia are countries that had beef before, right? But the thing is that actually any Russian citizen can stay in Georgia for one entire year, 360 days basically, visa-free. And Georgia and Tbilisi in general, has been a place of sort of, I guess, refuge for a lot of the people who are, not feeling super safe in the current political landscape of Russia and stuff. And now since the events in Ukraine started, obviously, the amount of Russians who are trying to flee has gotten crazy. And according to like the statistics here of the government in Georgia, apparently over like at least like 30,000 Russians came here in the last like 3 weeks or whatever, which is insane. I guess a lot of the people are gonna have a question, of whether I'm trying to, stay here or move here permanently. Thing is, I'm not exactly sure because it actually depends on a couple of factors. First of all, is finding an apartment because Tbilisi isn't like a super huge city. It has over 1.1 million residents, and obviously the amount of people who came and the amount of apartments, you understand, it doesn't really correlate. So what this led to is that apartment, prices for rent here have shot up like crazy. So apparently before Georgia is actually very affordable for rent, so you could rent like a huge, maybe like 3-4 room apartment for like $500 or something. Now that price has gone up to $1,000 basically. So yeah, that obviously creates an issue for me trying to find a place right now because I still haven't. I understand that it also creates a lot of issues for the locals there because, yeah. I mean, kind of like Russia, I guess, the salaries here are not super high or anything like that. And obviously now with this influx of Russians here and the rents going up so much, I mean, I understand that a lot of the locals here are not even able to rent an apartment themselves, It's kind of like gentrification times 100. Actually, when I came here and I posted about it, a lot of people from Georgia that are my fans were like, yeah, dude, this is amazing, welcome, we're so glad for you to be here, whatever. But I did get a couple of messages of people saying, go back to Russia essentially, which I do understand. And honestly, if I was like a local right now who was maybe planning to rent an apartment and now that all these Russians came and the prices going up like crazy, I'll be like, yeah, fuck these Russians as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was about to say that, like, okay, so the prices shot up it doubled because of 30,000 Russians. So locals are gonna be pissed somewhere, right? Like, obviously lots of people are going to just, have this common job, right? And they barely are making rent, and then suddenly you realize, oh, look at that, the rent shot up double from 500 to 1,000. Yeah, they're gonna be pissed at Russian at that point.
Yeah, I really like this neighborhood as well. It's like super European, but also kind of also Soviet at the same time. It's really cool. One thing that I think is really interesting, if you look at like the metro here, yeah, this is actually really tight that Tbilisi has a metro.
Wait a minute, why is this road like, pavement and not actual concrete or something like that? Is he walking around some kind of inner street or something?
Because it's like the same size as my hometown, Chelyabinsk, which doesn't, right? But here they do have a metro, and if you look at that logo, it's pretty much like exactly like the old Moscow metro logo, which is just, it's really cool. But yeah, another, I guess, issue that I would point out about, that I have to figure out is actually opening a bank account. Because the thing is that before this whole situation, before so many Russians started coming to Georgia, it was actually super easy for a foreigner of any nationality, and Russians included, to open a bank account here. Now that is not the case anymore, because so many Russians Russians, you guys understand that like a lot of Russians that are coming here, like they're down bad. Like they either lost their job or lost the ability to be paid because of the sanctions and stuff like that. That's kind of basically me. And also the worst part as well is that since Visa and MasterCard left Russia, essentially now none of the Russian credit cards work abroad. So I'm here right now in Tbilisi. I cannot pay with any of my Russian credit cards. They just don't work. They decline every time. And I'm literally only left to a bunch of cash and crypto. So yeah, I pay in cash.
Yeah, wait a minute. He's been saying that like, okay, I'm not, I'm not really that bad, right? I'm doing fine. And I'm like, okay, he has a million subscribers, so he probably made fine money with the YouTube. But then again, his bank accounts are basically frozen in a way because none of his credit cards, none of his Visa, MasterCard, Swift, everything left. So none of his Russian account is going to work. So I guess, like he said, he only has whatever cash he has left, right? So it doesn't matter how much money he made. He probably has very few quids left. That's really fucked up, man. I mean, obviously he's constantly be saying like, I'm not doing it that bad. I'm fine. So I guess he probably has somewhat cash that he'll be fine for a few months. But yeah, damn, this is really fucked up. I've said that in one of the videos of his in the past that people who basically are in some foreign country when all this shit happened, right? Russians, they would be screwed, right? Completely. Because their bank accounts would not, their credit cards wouldn't work, and they're stuck in a foreign country. And now, there is a hate towards Russian probably, right? Because of what conflict. So yeah, they would not get much help in these foreign countries either. Damn, that's really fucked up.
The old-fashioned way. And as far as crypto goes, yeah, I don't want to beg too much again because currently I still have a bit of money to do whatever I need to do here. But yeah, I'll have my crypto wallet links down in the description if you want to donate. But for now, it's fine. But if I'm going to be down bad, I'm going to tell you guys for sure. So yeah, this situation obviously creates a high demand for Russians coming in and trying to open bank accounts. And the thing is that banks here actually got pretty stingy as far as opening a bank account goes. So a lot of people get their requests to open an account denied. Banks ask for like a ton of documents proving, your source of income and everything, which is fine, I get that. But yeah, like the whole process is like super random. Like the people that work the same job that like come together to open a bank, one of them gets a bank account, the other gets denied. Like it's absolutely, nobody knows what the hell is going on essentially, right? So yeah, that is definitely also one factor that I think is important in deciding whether I will stay here or not. But the plan is to, yeah, I mean, again, the main locations that every Russian sort of that is, in a position like me is choosing to go to, it's mainly Georgia, also Armenia, Yerevan, and yeah, people also go into Serbia, Azerbaijan, countries like that, countries that basically have visa-free entry with Russia and an ability.
Yeah, somebody told me in the comments they moved 3 times. I guess that happened after this video. This video is from March, I guess, so it's been a few months. So he moved after this many times. Is that it?
For you to stay there for a little bit. But as far as like staying, Georgia is the best because you can literally stay here for 360 days in a year without a visa, and this is why a lot of people come here. And also clearly, from what you guys see in this video, it's a pretty fucking cool place, right? So yeah guys, if I'm going to be quite honest here, I really don't know what the future holds for me and if my relocation here is going to work. And I guess that's one thing I want to stress as well, is that I wouldn't call this an immigration, or I wouldn't call this like leaving Russia for good, because still, last 6 months of my life I lived in St. Petersburg and I really loved it. It's such a great city, but yeah, it's just kind of not the same anymore, right? And yeah, I'm here for the time being because I can't really get paid so well in Russia. It's also like the entire situation, the tensions right now is just insane. So yeah, maybe I will return eventually, and I plan to return eventually because still, even though the situation is messed up, obviously I have family and friends and, so many great people back there. And, losing that is painful.
Yeah, I mean, he's Russian. He's gonna go back. Come on.
So yeah, I would say that the main thing I want to do here while I'm here in Georgia.
I just want to say this video is from March, basically summertime, and I like how there's this rain everywhere, like how we have in India monsoon. It feels like a monsoon season in summer basically, which is ridiculous. Look at that. In March you would expect some kind of a heat, but nope, everything just cloudy. Yeah. But damn, seriously, people like him, Russians, that, obviously somebody who's relied on foreign currency like he is because he's a YouTuber, they are really screwed, man. It's really sad situation when you really think about it. He moved 3 times. People tell me, not just moving is not easy, man. Especially you leave everything in your country, go to another country, then you like, okay, this is, this is not working out. Then you go another country, then you go another country. He moved 3 fucking times. I don't know how would my mentality be if I have to do that. But this is just fucked up.
Georgia is I just want to respect the people here. I just want to respect the culture as much as I can, because clearly, you know, I'm a foreign person, and obviously I just feel super grateful for the fact that, you know, Georgia even lets us in. And despite a lot of bad blood between these two countries, still a lot of people of Georgia show hospitality and just being nice. And all the people who are my fans, who are locals here, also have been hitting me up, offering to help and everything. It's been amazing. Honestly, I want to fucking cry right now. So yeah, I'm kind of like in a weird state. Like YouTube is not like my main priority right now, because I'm just trying to figure out, you know, how to sort of figure things out here and everything. But yeah, once I get my shit sorted, I mean, I would say that, you know, this country gives me a lot of opportunity to produce content. I mean, this place is very unique. There's for sure going to be a lot of, you know, Soviet stuff for me to film here, so that's not going to be an issue. So all of you Soviet heads, rest assured that the content, even though I'm not in Russia at the moment, the content is still going to be, there's going to be enough Soviet shit for you to look at, basically. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I guess the last thing I want to say in this video is that I just want to, again, thank everybody for your support. The amount of messages I'm getting these days, and just the amount of people, you know, checking if I'm okay and everything, has been crazy. And I hope you guys are going to be here along for the ride, along for the journey. I really don't know what the fuck is going on in my life at this point, to be honest, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's going to be all good. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the vlogs, you know, the times of a dumbass Russian in Georgia who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing with his life. And yeah, just want to say again, thanks for watching this video. Again, if you want to...
Yeah, I don't know if he's just being like that for the camera or what, being this kind of optimistic, like everything's gonna be fine, and, you know, kind of panicking inside. But I don't know. Look, if you have to move that many times, you have to move out of your own country, then you have to go somewhere, then you have to go somewhere else too, because that didn't feel right. I don't know how optimistic you would be about things, right? I mean, obviously, you know, yeah, he's gonna be like, everything's gonna be fine, obviously, but still, it's really fucked up, right? Especially when there is hate toward Russia somewhat, right? Especially if you go to some other country and their rent goes up, there's going to be even more hate. Yeah, it's just fucked up situation all around. Well, you know, current situations, you know, special operations, local people, you know, common people has nothing to do with it, right? They are the one who's getting screwed as well. People like him, basically. And obviously people are already stuck outside of Russia, like, you know, in some Europe or even in some different continent. That's just fucked up. Like, you know, their credit cards not going to work, their money's not going to work. What the fuck are they going to do? I mean, yeah, this is just bad situation all around. Alright, well, that was I Left Russia by NFKRZ. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.